Hey everybody, Parallel here, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. Now that Victory is Life is finally here, it is time to create a Jem'Hadar. The Jem'Hadar are definitely the main focus of this expansion. As you can see here, they are the race that you can select as part of the Dominion faction. So what I'm going to do in this video is actually create a Jem'Hadar, so I'll go through the character creation. And then I will be playing through sort of the first mission, and I'm curious to see if it has some tutorial aspect to it as well. If there's not really any tutorial, I will try to provide some of my own tips and tricks that I've learned, particularly for new players. Jem'Hadar do start at level 60, which is new in this expansion. This is the first time they've had sort of a level jump type character in Star Trek Online. Other MMOs have done that before, but this is the first for Star Trek Online. And if you're brand new to Star Trek Online and just jumping in at level 60, there are probably a lot of things you're going to want to try to understand. So I'll explain what I can as I go through. At the end of the video, if there is time, I also want to take a look at the Jem'Hadar Vanguard ships. I did purchase the Vanguard pack that has all of the Jem'Hadar Vanguard ships in it, and I wasn't able to take a look at those yet because you need to claim them on a Jem'Hadar character first before you can unlock them for the rest of your account, which I haven't done yet. This is my first Jem'Hadar character, so I will do that at the end of the video if there is time. If the video is running long, I will probably separate that into another video. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Now, yeah, so like I said, now when you create a new character in Star Trek Online, and just so you know, if you already had an account as part of the Victory is Life expansion, Cryptic did grant everybody a free character slot. So you will be able to create a Jem'Hadar because you will have that extra character slot. And so as you can see, you'll be able to now select the Dominion as a faction. And you can see here there are only 2 selections. And not to derail my video too much, but I have to say, this is one of the most disappointing things about the expansion. I've been enjoying what's been in the expansion so far, content-wise, but this is probably the biggest disappointment. Only 2 races in the... I mean, it's not even 2 races, it's just 1 race where one is a slight variant of the other. So it's just kind of 2 flavors of Jem'Hadar. It's a big disappointment. I mean, even looking at the original series faction, so the TOS 23rd Century faction, even this one had 4 races, you know, and even here I think they probably should have added alien on here because they were aliens even back in the founding of the Federation. So, and even this was pretty lackluster compared to some of the other factions. So having a new faction with only 1 race and 2 variants is very, very limiting. So this is probably one of the biggest disappointments I have with the expansion. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. That is probably the biggest sticking point. And even more so, the problem is that, you know, what if you don't particularly like the Jem'Hadar as a race? The only way you can enjoy a lot of the content, you know, the only way you can claim your Vanguard ships, the only way you can be a recruit is if you're a Gamma recruit, is if you're a Jem'Hadar. So locking so much of it behind this race is really disappointing. Yeah, so... And just the Jem'Hadar in general, I mean, it would have been great. I mean, if this were a true Dominion faction, there obviously should be Vorta here. There should maybe even be, like, Founders for, like, lifetime subscription, maybe. Obviously, they wouldn't be as powerful as regular Founders, but, you know, maybe just have just Founder NPCs in the game. It could just be a variant of those NPCs with a couple, you know, unique melee attacks or something when they shape change. But even that would be a possibility. Or aliens here as well, because there are a lot of member species of the Dominion that could be included here in this Dominion faction. So a lot of missed opportunity here. Yeah, so that is unfortunate. And just that, yeah, Jem'Hadar are such a one-dimensional race, right? I mean, they're genetically bred, drug-addicted soldiers. That's what they are. They've been designed that way by the Founders. So there doesn't leave a lot of room for, you know, freedom of thought or, you know, role playability or anything like that, any kind of character depth. So that is my disappointment with the new faction, and I think probably the weakest point of the expansion that I've experienced so far. But that being said, I still want to create one. It would still be nice to at least experience some new content, see what their new mission is, how they get involved, and how they end up joining one of the other, either the Federation or the Klingon faction. All right. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and get in here. Now, I have to say that there is one Jem'Hadar that I actually did enjoy from the Deep Space Nine series. It was in an episode where there was actually Jem'Hadars that crash landed on this planet or something, or they went to this planet, and one of them had broken their addiction to white and I'm trying to think of his name. It was like Galen or something like that. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because I was very curious about that. But he actually had broken his addiction to the white and was kind of starting to exhibit some sort of free thought and kind of breaking with the founders and thinking of the founders as gods. And that's, I think, the only Jem'Hadar in the entirety of the Deep Space Nine, the entire series, that actually did that. All the rest of them were very loyal soldiers and never questioned anything. So that's about the only kind of opportunity I can see for any kind of role playing with the Jem'Hadar. So I'm kind of try to fashion my character out of that kind of a concept where they have at least some kind of freedom of thought. Maybe the Vanguard Jem'Hadar do have a little bit more freedom of thought. I'm not sure. Maybe Odo was a little more forgiving when he created or maybe, I don't know that he created them, but maybe his influence helped when they created the new breed of Jem'Hadar, these Vanguard Jem'Hadar, to fight the Hur'q. Maybe that means they were given a little bit more freedom of thought. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if there's any kind of explanation, in the actual episodes coming up here as to, the origin of the Jem'Hadar Vanguard. And now that I am talking about the Jem'Hadar Vandguard, I should probably explain the two variants of Jem'Hadar you can be here. So if you are a free-to-play player, you can create a normal Jem'Hadar. And if you click on the race info button here, you can actually see all of their abilities. Now, if you actually purchase in the C-Store the Vanguard Jem'Hadar, that will unlock this variant, which is slightly better than the normal Jem'Hadar variant. So if you are interested in, investing in this character and playing him till the end game, you'll probably want to unlock the Vanguard variant for the sole reason that they get a space trait that will actually improve their performance in space, whereas the regular Jem'Hadar for the free-to-play players don't have that ability. They only have abilities that help them on the ground. And I'm trying to see, where is it here? Jem'Hadar Vandguard. Yeah, so in the space, they have bonus weapon damage, crit chance, and crit severity. It's actually 1% crit chance and I think 2.5% crit severity and 5% bonus weapon damage. So they'll have that advantage over the regular Jem'Hadar. See, they only have the ground portion of the trait. So, if you don't care, then, either one is fine. But if you're looking to make this as a character you really want to invest in for the late game, you probably want to spend, I believe it's 600 Zen to be able to, so approximately $6. A little less than that if you buy Zen on sale. But if you want to, have this character long term, then you'll want to go with the Vanguard variant. Now, yeah, so I actually unlocked the Vanguard by through purchasing the Vanguard bundle, with all of these ships, and it also unlocked the Vanguard variant. So I'm gonna go ahead and select this as my race. Now it's time to select your career, basically your class. For new players, if you don't know what you want to be, if you just want to do damage, I would highly recommend you select Tactical. All around, tactical is definitely the best. They do the most damage. They have the best they have the best captain abilities for doing damage. And in the late game, that is the most important thing. And actually, the new abilities they get at level 63 are excellent as well compared to the other ones. So all around, tactical are a great, first choice. If you are interested more in PvP, and trust me, PvP is very niche in this game, you may want to go with Science because they have an ability called Subnucleonic Beam, which strips debuffs off the enemy. It's very deadly in PvP. It has a few uses in PvE as well. So they are a pretty good choice as a secondary if you're interested in that kind of a playstyle. Engineering right now is a little bit behind the curve compared to the other ones. Their main abilities focus around survivability and power systems. Unfortunately, those things you'll find in the late game that the survivability is not really needed because there are a lot of other consoles that will provide excellent survivability without needing the bridge officer abilities of an engineer. And once you get to that point, the increased damage potential of like a tactical character becomes more valuable in the end game, at least as it stands right now with the current balance between these. So I'm going to go with a tactical character. Now I'm very curious to see what the visual customizations are here. Yeah, so let's see what we've got. Alright, so we can customize all kinds of things. Now, I actually did create a preset, which I will load here in a minute, but I do want to just go through and see like what are some of the basic options so you get an idea of what the Jem'Hadar can be. One thing I'm kind of noticing already is that the user interface has a purple tinge to it, purple shade. Like the other factions, each faction seems to have their own kind of UI theme, and this one has a nice looking Dominion theme. Yep, so you've got a couple, so you got 3 different kinds of heads. Let's see, let me see if I can switch this to static stance and zoom in a little bit here. So you got 3 different heads. So this is just a very slight change to the face texture, it looks like. Different nose, brow, and like kind of the scales look a little different. Skin type. Okay, so you got 3, oh there you go, so you got 3 different kinds of scales. Head attachment. Oh, okay, so you got lots of different kinds of spikes. Okay, so we can go through a couple of them here. Some give you like a big ridge on your forehead. Some have, spikes kind of going across the entire, ridge on across the top of their head. Some on their forehead change a little bit. Okay, so pretty decent variation as far as spikes go. Hairstyles. Doesn't look like too many hairstyles. Got Jem'Hadar 1 through 5. Look like all just kind of different shaped ponytails here. And then 2 long-haired variants. I don't remember this being very common in the show, honestly. I remember seeing most of the Jem'Hadar with either that ponytail or just no hair at all. So yeah, what else we got here? Mouth accessory, jaw spikes. Okay, so a good variation of jaw spikes here. Okay, yeah, we got lots of, again, long, short. You can have a second row of spikes. Cheek spikes. That seems like it would be quite distracting. And you got all the standard sliders here. Standard sliders. As far as the uniform, you do get a Jem'Hadar. There is this Jem'Hadar uniform. And the Jem'Hadar tactical uniform is actually another unlock you can get. When I created my preset, I will be using this uniform, the Jem'Hadar tactical uniform. You can unlock it in the C-Store, or it is part of the Vanguard pack. Yep. So that is what I will be going with. Anything else we can take a look at here? Why don't I go ahead and load my preset. I can show you some of the variations of... Yep. So I went with the more simple look here. I'm trying to give him not too many spikes. I kind of want to make his look like they were a little more worn down, like he had been, you know, in more than a few battles, had some experience. Gave him sort of the simple ponytail. But yeah, this is the tactical uniform, so you can see that it comes with, it has quite a few attachments you can have on it. So you got the upper, you know, this is just the normal tactical uniform, you know, the shirt area, chest area. Then you've got hands, so you got gloves that are Jem'Hadar tactical. You have the wrist attachments, which are these like bracers on your arms, on your forearms. And then you've got the arm attachments, which are like these little, I'm not sure actually what these are. They almost look like they're spare Ketracel white packs, but I'm not sure exactly what they are. They could be like just containers for utility tools or for something. They could be like little grenades of some explosive of some kind. So you can have those attached all over the place. So you can have those on your arms here. You can have on your chest. You have this other one here up near your collar, which is kind of cool. Collar options, you do get a couple of choices for your neck tubes. So depending on how much a Ketracel white, oh, there you go. You get the double, you can have the, yeah, the double neck tubes there. So you're doubly addicted to the white. There you go. Yeah, that's quite amusing. Let me go ahead and... You can actually go with none, which kind of surprises me. I'm gonna go with I'll go with the double neck tubes here. You can, does the color change? Yeah, you can actually change the color here. Let me try... Can you make them like white? Yeah, maybe we should just make them white. So it looks like the white is actually going up there. You always see that in the show. You see like little particles of white getting sucked up into their neck. What else we got here? As far as the legs, not as many options. You do have the Jem'Hadar tactical boots, and then the pants. I didn't see a belt option for the tactical. Oh, they can wear the Bajoran belt. Okay, there's a mercenary belts and things. The basic belt could actually work there. I'll probably just not use a belt for right now, at least. And then hip attachments. Again, I didn't see anything there. You got your regular Jem'Hadar hip attachment, so you could go with that look. You've got Jem'Hadar pouch. Okay, so you could have that as well. So out of the box, honestly, not too many options, not as many as other races, but if you move things around quite a bit, you can try to get at least somewhat unique. It seems like the most customization you could do is in the spikes, so you have lots of variations in how you want your spikes to look. There were not very many skin color options. You just have like this grayish blue or a brown skin color. I kind of wanted to go with one of the darker grayish blue colors. Yeah, and so yeah, you can change the color of the spikes, but again, not too many options there. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it as far as customization goes. And if anyone's new to Star Trek Online, don't worry too much about the appearance, just get it close to what you want. You can actually change your appearance at any time in Star Trek Online, which is one of the great things about this game, where a lot of other games do charge you to do appearance change, but in Star Trek Online it's very easy. You just go to the tailor, and you can change literally everything about your character. Okay, for the name, I am going to go with... I'm going to name this after my favorite Vindictus character. He's going to be Herc, which I thought was fitting because he's going to be fighting the Herc, and his name is Herc. So here we go. Let's check his ship name. I don't actually know. What's a good ship name? I believe they start with a bug ship, don't they? A tier 5 Jem'Hadar attack ship? What is a good name here? I probably should have thought of this before. Usually the Jem'Hadar ships are just like serial numbers, aren't they? They don't really have a name. Here we go. Let's just go with the Apex. Okay, I'm not going to do a biography for now. Again, you know, you can customize all of this later, so don't need to worry about that. Okay, as soon as I hit engage, I'm not sure if a cutscene is going to play, so let's go ahead and get started.
You are my most trusted soldiers. We can't defeat the enemy alone. We'll need the help of old friends
Odo.
and old enemies. We can't win through force of arms. Deception, stealth, and misdirection will help us stay alive.
This looks like the trailer.
We will use any means necessary to defeat this enemy. Always remember, victory is life.
That is a really cool effect. I like that DS9 glow effect there as it transitioned into that top view. That was really slick. Nice job on the trailer, Cryptic. Dominion Prison Facility. It's raining. Whoa.
Several containment cells at this penal installation have been breached. A number of prisoners are attempting to escape. Their likely destination is the shuttle facility and landing area.
Escaped prisoners, huh? All right. Oh, we will have to deal with them. This way, honored first? Am I a first? Or was he just talking to somebody? Okay, so yeah. New players. If you just started in Star Trek Online, the first thing you're going to want to do is... Yeah, this is crazy. If you've never played Star Trek Online and you're just thrown in at level 60 like this, you're going to be very confused. Okay, the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to go to my options, and if anyone's curious, if you have a lot of alts, this is something you're going to want to do, and you're going to want to copy over your user interface. So I'm going to hit Load UI, and that's going to bring all of my window sizes and everything over from my other character. What you do basically is if you go to your options, you go to your HUD, get everything set the way you want it first, right? You go through, select all the options that you're going to want. You're going to want to, you probably want to turn on auto attack. I use toggle. Oh no, it should be. Oh, this is ground. Okay, but yeah, you're going to want to change this to. In space, I change it to toggle, but target change cancels. That's helpful for, it'll keep your weapons auto-firing against your current target. If you change target, then you can start firing again by hitting spacebar for your fire all. So that's a good option to check, but basically go through all these options, select how you want it to be. Then you go over here to the HUD tab. You say Save UI, and basically that takes all of your options and will save it to a file, and then you can change over to another character. You click Load UI, and that will bring all of those settings to that character. Saves a lot of time. All right. I believe it even keeps your keybinds as well. Okay, something is wrong. My keys are now messed up. There we go. That was really odd. My keys were not working, and yep. So yeah, just be a little bit careful. I had to do it there twice for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there, but it did. You can see it brought all my window sizes. Now my inventory is sized like my other characters. Everything's positioned all nice. So that's one thing you'll want to do as a new player. The other thing you're going to have to do as a new player is you're going to have to figure out your weapon bar, or your basically your hot bar. Now this is very familiar. A lot of people who play other MMOs, you'll know about your hot bar. But you're going to want to click on this View All Available Abilities. This will bring up like your entire list of all of your skills, and then you can drag and drop these down into your skill bar where you want them to go. It looks like they already provided you with some weapons. So if you bring up your character sheet, you can bring up your character sheet just by clicking up here. Looks like they've given you a full list of kit modules here, and a kit as well. They've given you your body, which is your armor, your shields. You get 2 weapons and then 4 devices. These kit modules are basically your abilities. And I don't know that they were preloaded here. What did they give us? So we got Rally Cry. That's nice. Is that Rally Cry? Okay, so they did load it onto your bar to start with. That's good. Shroud, I believe, is the Jem'Hadar racial ability, which will turn you invisible. I'm going to put this up here. Devices I usually put here on my Alt keys. But you'll want to go through here and kind of move things around and put them, those abilities where you are comfortable with them. Threatening stance. Where is the resurrect ability? I usually put that there. Each weapon will have a primary fire and an alternate fire. In fact, if you mouse over a weapon, you can see the primary fire and the alternate fire. In this case, it looks like they gave us a full auto rifle. This is a Jem'Hadar Polaron full auto rifle, which means your secondary fire is like a full auto sweep. Basically shoots a cone kind of spray of bullets, and you can do damage that way. And you can actually see there it says expose attack. When you are fighting in combat on the ground, there are kind of 2 kinds of secondary fire. One is considered an expose attack, and one is considered an exploit attack. Does this one have an exploit, perhaps? My pistol? Yes. See that one on the secondary, the high density beam, it says exploit. Basically, it's kind of a simple mechanic, but when a target is exposed, you'll see a sort of a target, a holographic target appear on them. And that means they are exposed, and then once they are exposed, you can do an exploit attack to do extra damage, basically, so they're vulnerable during that time. So usually, as a main character, you'll probably want to focus more on exploit attacks, and then usually my bridge officers, I will give them weapons that have exposed attacks. So with their firing, will expose the enemy, and then I'll be able to use my exploit attack to do big damage. Pretty simple mechanic on the ground. It works pretty well. What is this ability? Combat Triage Subroutine. Part of the Armored Shroud. Okay, so it looks like, wow, so the armor set that they give you already has an armor set ability. So this is kind of an ability you get just from your set bonus of your having the Jem'Hadar armor and weapon on. What else we got here? Photon Grenade. Let's put that over here. But we wanted to be spamming that. Suppressing fire. Rally cry I want to put over here. Usually fire on my mark. Yeah, something is wrong here. I did not bring over my keybinds. At least not all of them. It brought over some of them. Something weird is happening. I don't know why it would do that. But let's put this here. Because usually I put that on my Q and E. All right, so it's got a functional bar here, but you want to take a little bit of time when you do that. And you also want to do the same when you get into your ship in space, because that will also have a hotbar. You just want to move things around so you can access them easily. What is this? Is that motion accelerator? Okay, let's put that over here. I'm going to put this here for now. Make it a little more accessible. The fact that we have precision offensive makes me think that they gave us intel as one of our specializations off the bat. Specializations are something you want to get to. It's a little more of an advanced topic for now, but it's sort of like extra talent tree or extra skills that you can specialize in. Over here in your skills tab, you'll see specializations, and yeah, they give us command and intel. So that's why this ability is here. So those specializations give you all kinds of little bonuses and extra abilities, so that's something you'll want to investigate later. But at level 60, since you're already a level 60 character, they've started you out with some of those. So this is actually a pretty cool looking map here. I like the visual appearance of it. Got the, is that the penal colony over there, kind of where we're going to head? Looks like it. Oh, interesting. Is that like a Dominion shuttle? That's kind of cool. Yep, all my keys are completely... Let me just try one more time. Now, I do have a keybind file. I don't remember what I called it, though. You can save your keybinds to a file and then load it later, which I am going to check something just real quick here. Please bear with me. Actually, while I'm doing this in the background, I did actually look up that Jem'Hadar that I was referring to earlier when I was in the character creation, who was able to break his white addiction. His name was Goran Agar. Goran Agar. I remember this episode too. The episode's name was Hippocratic Oath. And this Jem'Hadar were on this isolated planet, and they were trying to break their addiction to the white. Dr. Bashir... Dr. Bashir had landed there with O'Brien, and they was actually trying to assist these Jem'Hadar. Like the Jem'Hadar first broke his addiction to the white, but his troops were not able to do it. And Jem'Hadar, and Bashir was trying to figure it out. That was a really, really interesting episode. And like I said, I think that was the only episode where I was actually genuinely interested in a character story of the Jem'Hadar. Yeah. Which is, I think I'm trying to have that in my mind here, actually playing a Jem'Hadar, because it... because it... okay, I did find the file here. Because that's the only Jem'Hadar I actually found interesting, that actually had any kind of a character arc or any development. So it kind of had a sad end to that episode. They never did find the cure, and it was quite depressing. But it was a very good episode nonetheless. I don't know, bind, I'm going to load file. And it's going to be, I named it default ground. Aha, there we go. Okay, so there's another tip, is that you can use the /bind. So if you do bind save file, it will take your keybinds and you just give that file a name. It actually throws it into your Star Trek your Star Trek installation directory. And then you can then go, when you're on another character, you can say bind load file, and then type the file name just like I just did, and it will then load your keybinds, which is great. Which I probably want to do that in space. Whoa, hey, your enemies. Why are there Cardassians here? Where am I? Okay, so another thing you can do, which I realized was not done by default, is if you right-click on your primary weapon mode, right here, see it has like a green outline, that will turn on your auto-fire. So you probably want to do that unless you want to spam click all the time. It's up to you. So the Cardassians, were we holding some Cardassians? Maybe they're trying to do a prison break here?
They found us! Get up! Run!
Too bad. You're dead. You won't take me alive.
Well done. You drove the escapees into our fortified position. Victory is life. Our guard unit was decimated during the breakout. We should form a new squad and deal with the remaining escapees. The honor of leadership should be yours.
Well, they were impressed with me taking down like 3 dudes. Okay. So honor leadership should ours. Does that mean we're going to become first? I'm not sure what our current rank is, honestly. Let's put this back down here. And what do I want? Put this here. Just bear with me a moment. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This should be good. This should be good. Okay, I accept. Oh, you're going to follow me? All right. Join me. Become my bridge officers. Probably just regular NP. Are these actually my bridge officers? No, doesn't look like it. They're just random. Oh, no, it is right here. Ecolek Stan. Okay. Okay. And Rem Toral. Are you on here? Yeah, so you're my science officer, and you are... Okay, this is awesome. So now we actually have bridge officers. I should be able to see here. Yep. So you can see if you go over to your... On your character sheet, go over to the Stations tab, you can see your away team members and their bridge officer abilities they have slotted. Although I don't see them in my group up here in my party window, so I'm not sure if they're actually considered my bridge officers right now. I can't actually command them around. Just taking a look over here. Yeah, some of my keys are still not working right. My sprint key is not working, so I'm not actually sure what it's bound to right now.
More escapees ahead. They have yet to detect our presence. I recommend we keep it that way.
Agreed. Activate Shroud. Okay. Are they going to do it? I can activate my Shroud.
Excellent. Now you can make a surprise assault.
Yep, that's one thing Jem'Hadar always had was the Shroud ability, like the personal cloak. Which is kind of interesting because their ships didn't have that capability. There, see that little holographic targeting? That means that person was exposed. And if I had an exploit attack, then you'd want to use that ability right then, and it will do like huge bonus damage. One of the nice little mechanics of ground combat.
Here. We should keep moving.
Awesome, Jen. Check for signs of life.
They're gone. Keep moving.
Okay. I'm going to have to bind my sprint key here. As I don't know where it is. I've had to go through the keybinds in quite a while because I always used my keybind file. I didn't always have to go back here. Now let's keep going. By the time I figure it out, I probably had already been done. It's kind of weird that there's Romulans here. Romulans and Cardassians. Just kind of looking around, looking at the
dose of
lay of the
Ketracel
land.
White provides a temporary boost.
Additional dose of Ketracel White. So I'm assuming that, yeah. So what does this actually do then? Target self, consumed by non-Jem'Hadar. Oh, a non-Jem'Hadar gives them like a debuff. If you're a Jem'Hadar, it gives you plus 10% all damage for, wow, for 5 minutes. Okay. Max hit points, increased run speed, and it gives you Empowered Shroud for 3 hours of game time. Okay. Here, have a grenade, have that.
A large number of prisoners are escaping the facility and heading your way.
Boss, we got incoming. That shuttle ready yet?
Okay, let's get our security team in here. Oh my, that is a lot of dudes. Here, have a grenade. Yeah. So there's Orions here too? There's like all kinds of races in this prison. Okay, Hunt. I have seen enough. Computer end program? Ah, okay. I was wondering why we would be... This, yeah, I was wondering why that was... Yeah. I don't know why we'd be imprisoning Romulans and Cardassians and Orion. I'm not sure why that would be the case. Unless... I mean, they're not really still at war in the Alpha Quadrant, right? But yep, looks like it was just a simulation. I'm just checking out this... Is this like a Dominion shuttlecraft or something? This is kind of cool. That's definitely unique. I don't remember seeing anything like that in the show. Yep, but it was a simulation. All right, here we go.
Remember, victory is life.
Yes, victory is life. Dukan Rex. Yeah, so it was just a simulation. Maybe that was our like test to become the first. I don't know. Maybe that's how they have a promotion and Jem'Hadar hierarchy of command. Let's talk to him.
Your leadership skills are sound. I am Iko Ixdan, and I would be honored to follow you in battle. I offer my service to your unit.
Okay, so he wasn't a hologram. He was actually there. Okay, Iko Ixdan. I accept your offer. And Rem Taral.
You
okay.
fight well. I see now why the Honored Elder chose you for this duty. I am Rem Taral. It would be good to serve under your command. I offer my services to you and your unit.
Your offer is accepted. Victory is life. Yay, bridge officers. Give me all the bridge officers.
A well-executed operation. You showed initiative and inspired others to follow your lead and achieve success. Your promotion to first is all but assured. All that remains is confirmation from the Vorta commander. I will take you to him now. Follow me.
Ah, as you say, Honored Elder. Honored Elder. I didn't think there was... Wasn't there a whole episode about how, like, Jem'Hadar don't really have elders? They usually, like, they prefer to die in battle rather than grow old. But yeah, I'm still, like, I don't know why a lot of my keys are just not working. My jump's not working. Okay, I don't know why it went to space when I'm on ground. Well, I'll just try to get through this as best I can for now. mess around with all the keybinds once we get past the tutorial. This is pretty cool, though. I'm liking the environments here. This is like... I remember these panels were always on the bridge. Those were kind of the bridge stations. Okay, Dukan Rex, let's go. Let's go see if we can talk to the Vorta.
Take this turbo lift to the bridge. You are to speak to the Vorta known as Wayun.
Ah, Wayun.
He awaits you there, along with his adjutant, Loris, and a founder.
Wow.
I trust you appreciate the need to report to the lead Vorta as soon as possible. He is not the only one evaluating you.
Interesting. I wonder if we're like one of the first like of the Vanguard, and they're like testing us out to be promoted. That'd be cool. But yeah, Wayun and Loris and a founder. I wonder which founder it is. I wonder if it's that one girl, one female founder who I don't think was actually ever named in the entirety of the whole show. But she was kind of the main antagonist founder that was, you know, kind of the leading the Alpha Quadrant contingent of the Dominion forces and Cardassia. Okay, but understood, honored elder. All right, to the bridge. Let's go see Wayun. Oh, maybe this is just the deck of the bridge. Hello. Just looking around, don't mind me. I don't recall if they showed many of the corridors of Jem'Hadar's ships in the show. I'm trying to think back to Deep Space Nine. I mean, they did commandeer that one bug ship for a fair number of episodes, and they were flying around, but I don't remember showing much of the corridors. I mean, they were almost always on the bridge or... yeah. Ship manager and acquire ships. Huh. Okay, so this is not the bridge, I'm taking it. But it looks like we have... oh, look at this. Okay, so it's just a map transfer, so we're actually... okay. That's kind of funny, actually. How do we get to the bridge? Is this it? No. Okay, bridge, where are you? And it looks like I should be able to go through. Oh, okay. That was, okay. Here we go.
Prepare the fleet. We need to reach the Bejor system as soon as possible.
Odo!
Of course, Founder. We'll be ready for transit within the hour.
Oh, this is so awesome, hearing their voices again. Odo and Wayun. Back together again. I wonder which Wayun this is. Is this like Wayun like 26 or something? Wasn't there that one? There was one Wayun I remember like defected. He like loved Odo so much he like defected from the Dominion and like had Odo like come pick him up in a runabout. I remember that episode. I think he ended up like meeting an unfortunate demise as well. Was that Wayun 6, I want to say? Wayun 6 maybe? But yeah, I'm kind of curious how many Wayuns there have been since then.
Welcome. Honored Elder Dukan Rex speaks quite highly of you. And after evaluating your latest performance, I can see the praise is well earned. I'm pleased to inform you that the Founders have chosen to bestow the rank of First upon you. May you continue to serve them well.
All right, we're a first. And that's awesome. Jeffrey Combs is amazing. He was a great actor. He did a lot of different extras. He was also the Andorian in Star Trek Enterprise. So through that series, and so yeah, great actor, awesome voice. That's really cool that Cryptic got him back for the expansion. All right, so here we go. I
would expect no less. One more thing. The Founders, in their wisdom, have also granted you the right to report directly to them when necessary. To speak to your gods is quite an honor. Unexpected, perhaps, but we live in most unusual times.
That is actually unexpected. Usually, Jem'Hadar would never talk to founders. In fact, I remember a lot of them saying they've never even seen a founder. Usually, the Jem'Hadar only interact with the Vorta.
The founders will contact you when they have need of your skills. In the meantime, I suggest you prepare yourself, your unit, and your ship for service. Speak with my adjutant, Loris 4. She'll help you prepare for the challenges ahead in the Alpha Quadrant. Remember, victory is life.
That's awesome. So it's Loris 4. That's kind of cool that we know which Loris it is. But we don't know which Weyoun this is. Alright, let's talk to Loris.
Greetings, and congratulations on your promotion. I am Loris 4. I will help you maximize your efforts to bring glory to the Founders. Head to the requisitions room across the hall. Someone will assist you.
Okay. So we'll have to go over to the requisitions.
While you're there, you may also wish to acquire a different vessel or switch the ship you'll command. Each ship requires certain bridge officers to function efficiently. Be certain you have the officers you need before heading out.
Okay, each ship requires certain bridge officers, so... Man...
Report to Weyoun when you are ready to depart. He will distribute the Ketracel White for your unit at that time.
Understood.
Exit the way you came in. Turn right, then head left and enter requisitions.
Okay, let's head over to the requisitions, but I'm guessing if new players would be pretty lost right now when they have to equip a ship and put all the bridge officers in and slot all the abilities. Yeah, going in blind into that would be quite confusing. So we can acquire ship and the ship manager. So, yeah, you want to talk to the ship manager. So this will show you all of your ships. Looks like they start you out in a bug ship, and it has fully geared out here. And we've got also a Jem'Hadar fighter. That's actually really cool looking. Holy cow, look at that Jem'Hadar fighter, man. This is actually like a small craft or a shuttle. That's only used on very specific missions. So, yep. So here is the ship that we get. Yep, so you can see all of the equipment that you could put on your ship. It looks like it is a Tier 5U, which is cool. So it's Tier 5 upgrade, which means that it has a scaling hull up to level 60, and it comes with this Starship Mastery unlocks. So basically, the more you fly the ship, you will gain experience with this ship, and it will fill up these 4 levels of mastery as you gain experience. So you get little passive buffs. So one is the accuracy rating, defense, kinetic and energy damage, and crit chance. Okay. So there you go. You'll be able to fill out those masteries. Pretty good starter ship, honestly. The Jem'Hadar bug ship is pretty decent ship. It looks like they also give us... Everything is at Mark 12. You can see the little Roman numeral. That is the mark number of the gear. Basically what level it is. As you increase in mark level, they increase in damage. Pretty straightforward. Or they also increase in other stats. You've got all of your gear here, your front weapons, aft weapons, all your consoles. Looks like they give us... is that a neutronium? Yep. They give us an EPS flow regulator, some neutronium, plasma distribution for some weapon power setting. I believe these are shield caps. Yep, maximum shield cap, shield regen, and then they give you some tactical consoles. Now, looks like they gave us all Polaron weaponry, and this is actually a pretty decent build, except for mixing the beams and cannons is kind of silly. But at least in this build, they're matching your energy type, so you have all Polaron energy weapons. And you have tactical consoles down here for buffing Polaron damage. So that is a good rule of thumb there for new players. You typically want to match... you typically want to have just one energy type for your weapons, and then you want to have in your tactical consoles either the damage type that have those buff the same damage type that you're using for your weapons. Pretty straightforward idea, but in the late game, there are actually some weapons that are so powerful, like some of the reputation weapons, like the Terran dual heavy cannon, that are so good that you can really use them on any build, regardless of the damage type. So in the very late game, there are some builds where you're not always just trying to match your energy type to your tactical consoles, but that's way in the late game. Up until that point, it's better to stick with just matching, having all of the same energy type, and then just buffing that up with your tactical consoles. Like I said, it's not a good idea here. See, they mixed a beam weapon here with these cannons. Generally not a good idea because beam weapons and cannons use different bridge officer abilities, and that means you're going to have a lot of bridge officer abilities to support having 2 weapon types, and there's not really a big benefit to doing that. If you're going to go with cannons, you probably should just have all cannons up here and not mix it with beams. It'll make it much simpler to build and will make it more effective, honestly. They did throw a torpedo in here, so we'll want to see if we gave us some torpedo abilities. Torpedoes can be good in certain builds. Again, if you have certain starship traits, there are certain traits that will buff your weapon damage when you fire torpedoes, that kind of thing. But that's kind of more the late game. Typically, until you get to that point, until you have like an energy torpedo or a specific build you're going for, you probably just want to go with just all cannons and just skip the torpedo. Or all one weapon type and skip the torpedo, either all beams or all cannons. Until you get to that point, but I mean, this is what you've got for now. Let's go ahead and, so this is our, so we can't really select anything else. What else did we have to do? Just return to Wayun. Let's go over here to acquire ships. So let's see what we can get. So this is what they start you with. And you have these. So these are the Vanguard ships. I should be able to claim these because I do have the pack, and there's the fighter. So that's it. So basically, I think they put this NPC here just so you can go ahead and claim your Vanguard ships right during this first mission here. Which I guess I will go ahead and do. I wonder if you can even claim the Tier 5 Dreadnought carrier and the escort carrier. But for now, I will just claim the 4 Vanguard ships that you get with the Vanguard pack. We'll go ahead and use them, all 4 of them here. So now I have all 4 of these ships, and if I actually talk to this guy again, you can see him there. I'm sure I could claim them from here because I already own them, because you see the price is 0 Zen, so you could just say buy ship and it will just claim it automatically. Very similar to what I just did, but I'm just more used to doing it right from the C-store than from the ship selector. So if we wanted to, we could go back over here, and now you can see those other 4 ships that I claimed are here. You can select that ship and then say ready starship, and that will bring over all your gear to the new ship. If there is a preference where you can turn that off, but it'll bring all of your gear to the new ship, and then you can fly that ship. I am wanting to fly the Jem'Hadar Vandguard warship for sure, but for now I'm just going to stick with the bug ship. Fill out the mastery and just have a little bit of fun with it for now. Just because this is what everyone is going to get. It doesn't look like the other ships really gave me... yeah, the default weapon here is not nearly as good. Now I wonder if the consoles can go on the bug ship. No. Okay. It can only go on Vanguard warships. It can't go on regular Jem'Hadar warships. All right. Okay, but so yep, that's kind of the basics of ship building. I mean, that was just a really fast kind of rundown, but hopefully that helps you if you're a new player, just to not get quite as lost. I can imagine you're pretty confused right now. And even worse, once you get into space, you're going to have to go ahead and, again, change all of your hotbars around to fit that new ship. Alright, so we could talk to Wayun again. Maybe we'll get our white for our crew here. I wonder if they'll go through the ritual. Oh, no voice acting here. Okay. Are you prepared for combat first? The Founder has ordered the fleet to battle stations. We will depart as soon as you are ready. Okay. Ooh, cutscene.
Can you vouch for the loyalty of your men?
Yes, they're doing the ritual. We pledge our loyalty to the Founders from now until death.
Then receive this reward from the Founders. May it keep you strong.
Yes, give me that white. I have 2 white tubes. I can get double dose.
We're detecting a number of derelict vessels ahead on sensors. It looks like they ran afoul of some Idran swarmers. How unfortunate.
Idran?
I believe this will be a teachable moment for our newly promoted first. Loris?
They called them Idran swarmers. Maybe that's the Dominion name for the Herc. Idran. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Loris.
I agree, of course. First, I'd like you to move ahead of the fleet and eliminate the swarmers. Take out the derelict vessels as well. They'll attract more vermin otherwise.
It shall be done. Derelict vessels, so they're attracted to derelict vessels? Not sure I knew that. But yeah, so right now, new player is going to be incredibly lost, because you're going to have to slot in your bridge officers, and you're going to have to move your hotbar around. And I'm going to bind, load file, my space binds here. Did that work? Well, hopefully it did. It looks like most of them are here, but... Oh yeah, okay, my balance shields worked. Okay. Alright, so new tips for new players. You're sitting here in a ship, you have no idea what to do, and there's no tutorial if you start as a Jem'Hadar. First thing you're going to want to do is take a look at your power systems right here. So you've got your weapons, shields, engine, and auxiliary. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to crank this right here up to 100. I don't care what you're doing, that is the first thing you're going to do on almost every ship in the entire game. Go ahead and lock that. The other power levels right now don't matter too much, but typically I run with shield and engine at minimal power, and then put the rest into aux. And then if you're using aux to bat build, all of this aux power will go into the other 2 systems anyway. But you can mess around with these as much as you want. But putting your weapons power up to 100 will vastly improve your... Well, yeah, it will significantly improve your DPS. And it's the most important power system. It has a lot more effect than the other ones, particularly for new players. Their aux power makes a big difference for science characters, but yeah, for now, just dump it all into weapons. You'll do much more damage. Now, we're going to need to put in our bridge officer slots here. So if we go back to our character sheet, and we're going to go over to... Okay, they got traits already slotted for you. That's good, and some reputation traits. Okay. Yeah, but here's what you're going to want to do. Specialization is not supported in this station? Wow, they didn't give you default anything, man. This would be really, really confusing to new players. Okay, so I'll try to make a simple build here. Hopefully this will help you out. First thing you're going to want to do is, it looks like the only option we got is tactical team, but that's fine. We'll put tactical team in our ensign slot. We're going to put attack pattern beta. Okay, so that's a good start. Torp spread 3, is that our only choice? Yes. And cannon scatter volley. This is actually not bad. Honestly, whenever you're building a ship, this is a very typical kind of a build where you're going to want... you're always going to want a weapon ability. So in this case, cannon scatter volley. You're always going to want a attack pattern, in this case attack pattern beta, you're always going to want tactical team. So those are kind of the three main tactical abilities you're going to want. That fourth ability, if you're running a Torp, you're going to want a Torp ability, either high yield or spread. And then if you're at a higher level, you'll probably want to get your hands on like a chemosite as well. But those are kind of the four main slots you're going to want to use. So those abilities, and that's actually pretty decent to starting the build. Looks like they've also given us cannon rapid fire, and they've also given us beam fire at will. Now this is when you're getting into a area where probably you wouldn't want to do this. You wouldn't want to mix your two abilities, because now I have to run beam abilities, cannon abilities, and torpedo abilities. That's taking up a lot of tactical slots. You know, fortunately in this ship we have 6 tactical slots. A lot of ships don't have that. So, I mean, it would work okay for now, but it'd be much better if, say, you did all cannons, then you could get rid of this beam fire at will and throw a chemosite there. You know, it'd be a much better build. So generally you don't want to mix things. But one thing I can show right off the bat is you also don't necessarily want to mix cannon scatter volley, which makes your cannons AoE, and cannon rapid fighter, which makes your cannons single target heavy damage. Because you'll see what happened when I click on one. See how I put the other one on cooldown for 15 seconds? So those are shared abilities. They have a shared cooldown. You can't like use them both at the same time. So activating one will always put the other one on cooldown. There are quite a few abilities like that in the game. There's other engineering abilities that do that. Beam fire at will as a shared cooldown with beam overload, and torp spread as a cooldown with high yield. So there's all of these abilities where you have to factor that into your build. It's not always necessarily a good idea to run both cannon scatter volley and rapid fire. You can use them situationally, like if you're trying to take out one hardened target, you know, you could go back to rapid fire. But you know, like I said, unless you have an overabundance of tac slots, you're not going to want to do that. Especially because there are a lot of starship traits that focus on one or the other. Once you like specialize your build to do maximum damage, you probably want to put all of your traits and everything to buff your scatter volley or your high rapid fire, rather than trying to separate it between the two and then doing less damage overall. What else we got? So let's plot out some engineering here. Okay, so this is a good ability for engineering. Emergency power to weapons, a staple on almost every weapons build, because it improves your damage and gives you power in your weapons subsystem. So yep, good to have always. Reverse shield polarity, another good ability, very good for surviving focus fire. Directed energy modulation is a much more situational ability. It's okay. There are some traits that trigger off it that are good. No officer. Can I fit someone in here? Looks like... Why can't I fit Tom? Oh, I can, okay. And what do you have? You got engineering team. Okay, oh cool, the icon's different for Dominion. Nice. Okay, and then in our science slot, they give us tractor beam. That's probably not what I would go with there. Hazard emitters is good. Hazard emitters is a good science ability that will heal you and cleanse debuffs. Tractor beam is more for like a more science-focused character. If you're just going for weapons damage, it's a tactical character, probably just go with like science team to clear debuffs or placates, or maybe like I'm not sure what else. Polarize hull to get out of tractor beams would probably be more helpful. But overall, I mean, this is a serviceable build, at least for starting out. I've seen much worse, let's put it that way. Usually when you get officers, like random bridge officers in Star Trek Online, all of their bridge officer abilities are absolutely horrid. So this is actually an okay, a functional build for now. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of time here. Sorry to do this, but I do need to move these around a little bit just so I am familiar with my keys. I always put brace for impact there. I always put R as my evasive maneuvers. Put these up here for now. Attack fleet and intel fleet, I'll put those up there. Fleet support I'll put over here. That only use that if you're about to die. Ramming speed, I never use it. I'm just going to get rid of it. Slipstream, that's when you're in sector space. And then go down fighting is a very good ability. But I'm going to want to put my... I didn't even put my... Oh, I got attack pattern alpha over here. Okay. I'm just going to focus mostly on scatter volley for now. And let's put this here. Put that there. Let's put that there. Tractor beam. Probably won't use that too much, but I'll put it there. Directed energy modulation also probably won't use that too much. Okay, I think we're in good enough shape now. So you want to put these in your bar. So, I mean, if you are, if you want to buff up your damage as this character with these bridge officer abilities, you're going to want to activate your emergency powered weapons. That's going to give you a buff for 30 seconds. It lasts for a long time, so you're going to hit that first. Then you'd want to do your cannon scatter volley and attack pattern, and that will give you lots of damage. And then tactical team can mess up your firing cycle a little bit, but after you activate these, you'll probably want to hit your tactical team while the firing cycle is still going on, and then you should be good there. If you need a massive burst of damage, go ahead and hit your attack pattern alpha. That is your captain ability as a tactical character and does a lot of damage. You've got your directed energy modulation. It gives you a little bit of shield pen, which is nice. If you're hitting a heavily shielded target, you might want to hit this as well. Before, hit this maybe along with your emergency powered weapons, and then use your weapon power and your attack pattern. You usually want to use your weapon power and your attack pattern together. That gives you that window of high damage. Use everything at that time. And these you use when you need a heal. So hopefully that will help you get started. And now that I'm ready to go, it is good at least they're not like, man, we got a huge fleet here. Look at this. At least they didn't like throw you right into combat right away, give you a second to... Yeah, this is not my... Yeah, I don't know why my throttle... I mean, my keys are not coming over quite right. I'll patch all that up off screen after doing the recording, but here we go. We got some swarmers up here. So as we're in range, I'm going to go ahead and hit my abilities, and then... there's the scatter volley going crazy, taking them all out. Now, one thing I probably should have mentioned, but they already did it automatically for you, is, like I mentioned on the ground, that if you right-click on the weapon, it will put that on auto-fire. The same is true in space. So, like, here are all of your weapons. So you've got the 4 weapons in the front, and then you've got 3 weapons in the back, and then you've also got this one here, this experimental weapon, which is over here. So make sure you right-click on these so they have that glow, that green glow around them. It looks like they did that automatically for you, but you want to know that in the future, like when you get a new ship. Make sure, if you swap out your weapons or whatever, make sure you right-click on them so they have that green glow, and that will turn on the auto-fire. So you don't have to keep spamming your fire-all weapon, which is, default your space bar. Got an accolade, huh? That experimental weapon does fire in a 360-degree arc. Whoa, a bunch of swarmers came out of there. This tractor beam one of them. Ah, I have that swarmer.
Hiding in the transport. Clever. eliminate them.
That was actually pretty clever, I have to admit. I was not expecting a bunch of swarmers to come out of that. So what else we got here? Let's zoom out. Got lots of swarmers to clear out. Alright, let's go over here. You can hit this little up arrow right here to go into full impulse. That will drain power from your systems, will make it go a lot faster. But these are hovering around really fast. But usually, like, see, there's one in range now. Make sure to pick up your loot, especially if you're a new player. Even if you're not a new player, it's pretty valuable to pick it up so you get some salvage out of it. Got some new swarmers up here. So my weapon bowers are not back up yet, which is a little bit unfortunate. But they're coming back up now. There are definitely some builds in this game where you can get a lot of Bridge Officer power recharge time. There's a particular build called Ox to Bat that I am quite fond of that has become quite popular. I wonder if this is going to spawn swarmers. No. Let's do basic maneuver out of here. I don't want these things on my hull. But yeah, you'll definitely want to have your throttle up and throttle down keys bound to something that you can reach easily. I have them to Q and E, which I believe is the default, but because you will be throttling up and down quite a bit as you need to adjust your speed in combat. Yeah, alright, here we go. Basic maneuvers, so we can get away from here. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a throwback to have Bridge Officer cooldowns that are this long. With a proper build, you can get your cooldown and your abilities down to almost a global cooldown of like 15 seconds. So, at least for cannon.
Have faith, Weyoun. Our new first will surely prevail.
Yes, have faith, Weyoun. I will definitely prevail. Alright, anything else? Got the weapons set up. See, when your weapon abilities aren't up, you really lose out on that big, powerful Alpha Strike.
All ships, gather near the wormhole entrance.
Oh, cool, we're at the wormhole. I didn't know that. Cool. Alright, let's head over to the entrance. Anything else I should mention? Of course, this HUD area right here is your shields. You got, your fore aft and your port and starboard shields. They call it left and right shields. So, and your hull is in the middle. Pretty straightforward. Just keep an eye on that. Use your tactical team if one shield facing, particularly your forward shield, if it's really low compared to the other shields, hit your tactical team, and that will regenerate that shield facing very quickly.
All ships, prepare for transit to the Alpha Quadrant.
Okay.
Is your
Ooh,
vessel
here's the
ready
fleet.
for the journey after your encounter with the swarmers?
First Herc. Yes, I am very much ready. Check this out, man. This is a big fleet. Ooh, there's Odo's flagship. That's cool. Are they actually going into the wormhole? Interesting. But yeah, use your tac team to regenerate a shield facing very quickly. Okay. I think we're in good shape for now. Let's go ahead and head over to...
As of this moment, we are all dead.
Yes.
We go into battle to reclaim our lives. This we do gladly, for we are Jem'Hadar. Remember, victory is life.
Yes, victory is life. I still remember that one. There was one episode where the Jem'Hadar were doing this ritual, like, we are all dead. And, you know, and victory is life. We need to reclaim our life. And then, like, right after that, O'Brien, like, walks up. And he's like, I'm Miles O'Brien, and I'm very much alive. And I intend to stay that way. So, I thought that was a pretty funny scene. I totally remember that scene from the show. O'Brien was great. And it fit perfectly, because, like, he was all, you know, joking and acting human. And then right next to the Jem'Hadar, and they're all trying to be tough warriors and everything. It was just really funny. Alright, victory is life. I think they've said that about 16 times so far in this single mission. Oh, check this out. It's a cool cutscene. Nice. That's really cool, the whole fleet warping in. So they said they wanted to go to Bajor, I believe.
I have a task I'd like you to handle personally.
Oh, you know what this is? You know what this is? Oh, I can't see all the episodes. I forgot the name of the episode, but this is the last... This is like, from the Jem'Hadar point of view. Oh my god. Of course,
There's
Founder.
a Zenkethi battle station in this sector. It's heavily damaged and in danger of being destroyed in combat.
Yep.
I need you to extract a high-value target from it before that happens. The fleet will clear a path for you to the station. You will then beam down with an away team and escort Zenkethi Admiral Zen Talak to safety. Understood.
Whoa, okay.
I have a task I'd like you to handle.
This didn't have the Dominion to deal with. Battle the herd. This complicates matter.
I will make our intentions clear to the Alliance before they open fire on us. Target's shield has failed.
What? The Dominion is on our side?
Oh my god, there's a ton of swarmers here. I'm calling my support fleet. That's awesome. Look, support fleet brings in a Jem'Hadar battleship on the Dominion side. Ouch. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I was just trying to listen to Odo talk and then I got swarmed by swarmers.
Hurry. We don't know our target status.
Okay, that was quite unfortunate. But anyway, what I was trying to say was that this is like the other side of the other side of the battle. This is the same battle at the end of the previous featured episode, but from the Dominion's point of view. So that's actually really cool. So this is like the Dominion's coming in. Remember the Zenkethi station was there, and we boarded that station with the Zenkethi defector, Nathpar, and then yeah, wow, that's so cool. So this is, and then, you know, right before, I mean, I'm gonna go fly over is Deep Space Nine. Yeah, it's already been like heavily damaged and broken. Like even one of the pylons is destroyed. Yeah, so this is just from the Dominion's perspective. So that's really cool. I like that. So we're kind of bringing it into the story right where it left off from the previous episode. Let's go ahead and
We've
beam
entered
down.
transporter range to the station first. Is your away team ready?
Yes. Our away team is very much ready, I hope. Again, they've already slotted some abilities. I'll just go with what they got for now. I'm actually kind of curious. I wonder if these Jem'Hadar have
Our sensors
traits.
have detected the Admiral. He is on the station's upper level in the command area. I recommend haste. The Herc are likely to overrun the station, and soon. Find the Admiral and get him to safety. I'll update you once that happens.
Interesting. I wonder why we're trying to save the Admiral. Okay, but first, I wanted to see, just real quick, do these guys have traits? They all have ground traits. Yep. Okay, so it looks like these are just regular Jem'Hadar, not Vanguard Jem'Hadar. Okay. Aha! My run key is working again, and I did nothing differently. I'm not quite sure what is going on and why the keybind... Oh, cutscene. Oh, check this out. What the? Whoa, he is like, oh shit. So are these the, these don't look like the other little crab things. These look a little bit meaner. Yeah, these don't look like the, God, what were they called? Dranzuli? They don't look like the Dranzuli, the little crab things that hatched out of those crystals. These look a little bit meaner. They've evolved or something. Yeah, but God, I can't remember the name of that last... Was that... That wasn't Scylla and Charybdis, was it? Was that the last episode? Let's go ahead and use the Zinkethi transporter. Kind of interesting that they don't use... See, these look more like the Dranzuli thingies that we found on the Draenor colony. But these things don't. Ow. Okay, so they like to charge. Yeah, this is gonna bug me. What was the name of that last... It was Scylla and... Was that the last one? Oh no, that's right. There was Renegade's Regret after that. Okay. Yeah. But I am thinking of Scylla and Charybdis. So that was the one where... Yep, the DS9 was attacked. The Zinkethi were going crazy, proto-mattering like every planet to get rid of the Herc and eliminate the Dranzuli eggs. Yeah, and this was the bridge. Commander Chadara. Why are we evacuating? Well, let's just talk to the... I'm not sure why we're evacuating this guy. Wasn't this the evil admiral that the defector was trying to stop from, like, committing genocide all over the place?
Jem'Hadar, here? If you come to help, you will be welcomed. If not, today is a good day to die. For you.
Okay. We're here for the admiral.
The Zinkethi? He's caused enough trouble for one day. Take him away if you wish. Feel free to crush any Herc you should find, too. There's plenty to go around.
Yes, here they come. Uh-oh. Oh, that was weird. Is that how they transport? That looked... It was like an orb or something. That was different. Okay, let's get our security team going. Let's go all out here. Yep, for whatever reason, my keybinds are working again. I'm not in line of sight. And I can't get over this thing. Let me over. And it's dead. That's kind of cool. Klingons and Jem'Hadar working together. I know that Jem'Hadar always had a thing for the Klingons in the show, because I always felt that they were like, you know, fellow warriors, I guess, as it is. They were actually worthy of competition and defeating in combat. Alright, let's talk to them.
Not the liberators I was expecting, to be certain, but I will not refuse your aid. You are here to rescue me, yes? If not, I would like to die on my feet in combat.
You will come with us. I wonder why we're getting hit.
Well, I have a warp-capable shuttle on this station near the escape pods. I'll give you access to that section. Take me to it.
Come along, no tricks. So this is interesting. I wonder why we're trying to rescue this admiral, which... Because at the end of Scylla and Charybdis, we defeated this guy with the defector, Nethpar, and he must... I bet the Dominion's interested in him because he probably has some knowledge of the Herc that they're looking for. Or maybe his knowledge of protomatter weaponry, maybe they want to get their hands on. I don't know. Oh, bug splattering everywhere. This is like Bug Hunt. What ability is that? That is some crazy effects going on. So where are we going here? Okay. I do love this Zenkethi interior.
Level secure. We're needed elsewhere. Fight well.
Klingons are leaving. Wow, they just like faded away into nothingness. They didn't like beam out or anything. That's kind of funny.
I see you've taken the Admiral out of harm's way. I expected nothing less from one of our finest. I have a new task for you first. Make your way to the torpedo bay and set one of the torpedoes there to detonate. That will take care of all the Herc on board quite nicely.
Okay, they were just talking on top of each other. Let me just read back what Laura said, because I kind of missed it. I see you've taken the Admiral out of harm's way. Okay, so we got him to the escape pod. I have a new task for you. First, make your way to the torpedo bay and set one of the weapons there to detonate. Okay. So we're going to try to eliminate the rest of the Herc by nuking the torpedo. So the Vacat Aggressor is what those are called, and those are called attendants. Oh, we're going to the torpedo bay, I remember. We did that, and also in Scylla and Charybdis, we went to the torpedo bay to disable their protomatter torpedoes. I remember that. There's that little mini game. Commander Marin. Okay, we got some feds in here. This is interesting.
Jem'Hadar, huh? This day just gets more and more interesting. If you're here for a fight, you'll get one. But with all this proto-matter around us, it might be brief.
That's, I guess, true. We're not your enemies.
Fantastic. If you're not here to fight, I'm gonna assume you're here to help. We were about to disarm all these beauties. I'm sure you noticed this place is a little unstable. No one's thrilled with the idea of all this proto-matter exploding. Want to give us a hand?
I have orders to destroy the station.
Right. And you figured a room full of proto-matter would be the best way to make it go boom? Wonderful. Look, let's compromise. We'll neutralize the proto-matter in all but one of these torpedoes, which you'll set to detonate. Everyone's happy. My team needs 3 minutes to get it done. You okay with this plan?
I will confirm. We gotta check with the Vorta. No self-determination here.
The renowned Starfleet efficiency. 3 minutes is an acceptable time frame. Let the good commander know we are agreeable to his terms. And first, don't tarry once the demolition task is complete. We require your skills in combat over Bejor.
Acknowledged. Well, they didn't wait, so we gotta hold them off for 3 minutes. Yep, we've got the timer going on the side, I can see. So what is this ability? Combat triage. Hit points, all damage resistance rating, immunity to stun and hold. Okay. And these are those the Houdini mines? Is that what they're called? They're like the cloaking mines that appear in... Oh, crap.
One stack down. Keep up the good work.
They're coming from multiple directions. Where's the next one? Over here. Ow, ow, ow. Holy crap, what was that ability? Merrick Guardian. Okay, he looks like he's got some nasty abilities here. Let's, I don't even know what some of those abilities did. There's another one. Oh, stupid little bug over there. Look at all these proto-matter torpedoes. This is like a really bad place to be like firing Polaron weaponry. Yeah, let's do some of this Ketracel. Need some need our little energy boost here. Need to feed our addiction. So far so good. At least they did give our science officer here a heal, which is always helpful. Well, they seem to like coming from this direction. That is a weird ability. I'm not sure. What is that doing? Did that say... I'm gonna go step in this. Oh no, it went away.
Keep them off us! Proto-matter's done, but the explosives are still intact.
Okay, where are you? Oh, there you are.
We're good to go here. You want to push the big red button, or shall I? All right. Proto-matter is out of commission.
Okay. He just kind of repeated himself there. All right. It is my duty to begin the detonation. Arm the torpedo.
Nice work. It's been interesting, fighting with Jem'Hadar instead of the other way around. Well, Command wants us somewhere else, so adios. Try not to get shot, yeah?
Victory is life, Starfleet. Starfleet wimps. Don't need your weakling species around here. We're Jem'Hadar. Alright, let's talk to Loris.
Time is a factor here first. We have need of you back in space. Are you prepared to leave the station?
I guess we are. This torpedo bay torpedo bay definitely looks different than the previous one. I remember from Scale and Charybdis, there was a different shape. This one has a lot more torpedoes in it. I guess we're on the... Yeah. Are we on the station right now? Yeah, I mean, we're still on the station. Okay. But I guess we're ready to go back. I wonder if Cryptic went back and redid the Odo's voice line.
I believe we are going to work together quite nicely, all for the glory of the Founders, of course. Our main task lies ahead. Simply put, we must save the Alliance forces in this sector from the Herc. I trust you're up for the challenge?
Of course. Alright, so we'll have to save the Alliance, but yeah, the Herc will fall. But yeah, I remember at the end of Scale and Charybdis, there was... Odo had like that... whoa, there goes the protomatter.
Slow down those Herc ships. They're much easier to hit that way.
So the station is gone. Okay, so far so good. Whoa, there comes some more.
Target the Herc forces and fire!
So what do we have to do it here? Save the Klingon ships.
You fight well, Jem'Hadar.
Did we save them, or did they just blow up?
We're barely holding on here. Can anyone help?
Okay, let's head over here.
A Starfleet vessel is in trouble. Assist them.
I don't really feel I helped that Klingon ship, considering that it blew up.
Dominion vessel, thank you for your assistance.
Why does it blow up? When I rescue it, I like rescue it and then it just spontaneously explodes.
A Herc force is coming your way. I will assist you.
Defeat the Dreadnought. Wow, the Vedcrid Hive. It's immune, huh? Ooh, hey, there's one of the big battleships over there. Oh my god, swarmers everywhere. Man, that thing is spawning swarmers like crazy. Maybe we should just focus on this. Aha, take that, Dreadnought. took down the Dreadnought. That was pretty cool looking ship.
Another well-fought victory first. You continue to impress.
And I'm also going to check out this Jem'Hadar battleship over here. I believe they redid the model on this ship for the expansion, the visual model. I'm betting that's the... Is that the one you get out of the new Deep Space Nine lockbox, I wonder? I think that's what it looks like. It's a really cool looking ship. I live to serve the Founders.
And the Founders want you to serve alongside the Alliance as part of their defensive forces. There are two viable factions to consider. The Federation and the Klingon Empire. It's indulgent, I know, but I think the final choice should be yours. Who shall it be?
Whoa, that's kind of abrupt. So all of a sudden we're supposed to just choose our faction just like that? That could have, that's way too abrupt. It should have been a little bit more to it than this. Wow, okay. So, yeah, that was definitely rushed. Up to there, I was really enjoying the episode. That was great. But I really like how they tied it in with Skila and Charybdis. But then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, you won. Oh, by the way, now you can choose your faction. Why? How about some context and some background? Maybe there should have been like another mission to like maybe you fight alongside the Klingons for a little bit, and then you fight alongside the Federation. And then you kind of get to know them, and then you then make your decision. Or maybe there's some master plan, like the Founders or Odo. They want this new Vanguard to be a, to be like integrated into the Federation and the Klingon Alliance to help fight the Herc. I don't know, something, anything. That was just like, oh yeah, pick a faction, whatever, do your stuff, choose whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. But for this character, I am going to choose Klingon. I always felt that Jem'Hadar do like Klingons the best. They were the most, combat-capable species. They loved... I remember there was a lot of episodes where they would always brag how they always wanted to fight Klingons to have a worthy opponent and that kind of thing. There was even that episode, I remember when Worf and Martok were in that prison, and they were like, all the Jem'Hadar like wanted to fight them in a hand-to-hand combat in a ring, and Worf kicked all their asses, and yeah, that was a cool episode too. But yes, for this character, I am going to choose the KDF. And that's it. Unceremoniously, I am now part of the KDF, and I was flying that whole time where I was staring at that screen. I'm gonna go head back towards Deep Space Nine here. Oh, we're getting hailed by Odo. What are they shooting at over here? Are there still more Herc around? Nothing I can target. Must just be some... There's a Scimitar. It's a Bortesque. Cool. But yeah, this... So yeah, they redid the... it has the redone model for Deep Space Nine. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like I was saying, I did actually like the episode up to that point. I thought it was done pretty well, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, choose a faction. Alright, let's talk to Odo. Maybe he'll give us some context.
Interesting choice. I think you'll fit in well there, eventually. It might take some time to get used to the way they operate, but I believe you're ready for the challenge.
I think as soon as I do this, the mission is over. But okay, let's do it. Ooh, cutscene.
This meeting is classified. You are one of a special breed, chosen by the Founders for great things. To that end, we will supply you with special gear and training. Use this transponder to directly contact us on a secure channel. I expect regular reports, especially regarding unusual developments. And do remember, victory is life.
Yes, I will remember that. You've said it about 30 times in this single episode. Oh, there's a Galaxy class. Awesome. Ah, so that little extra cutscene was the Gamma Recruit. That's what she gave me. The Dominion Transponder. Activate to open the Gamma Recruit user interface. This will be used to track your progress. Ah, wow. I'll definitely have to take a look at this. But, yeah, this has been a very long video. I'm not going to go through it. I'll probably do a separate video going through all of the Gamma Recruit stuff. But that is how you become a Gamma Recruit, which is part of the expansion. It's one of the new features in the expansion. It is a temporary event. So if you create a character between now and I believe it's July 18th, then you will be a Gamma Recruit, and you will get this special item. Now keep this item. You got to keep this in your inventory all the time. You never want to delete it or anything like that. Because this is how you will claim all of your Gamma Recruit rewards. And basically all of these things are just little achievements you got to do, and then for each tier you'll get nice little bonuses. And there's probably a lot to go through here, but yeah, there's things you find in the episodes, there's things you do with the fleet, for your duty officers, reputations, admiralty, R&D, specializations, and just rank is just your level. So all kinds of things you got to work on, and then as you unlock those rewards, they can actually be claimed on all of your characters on your account. So it's pretty cool. They've done similar to this with the previous events, like the Delta Recruit and then the Temporal Recruit, and now we've got the Dominion Recruit. All right, so in that one episode, you know, at the very end, we had to choose a faction and become a Gamma Recruit, but that's good. Now that we are completed with that, we have, I guess that's it. Now we're part of a faction, and now we're part of the Gamma Recruit system. And then we can depart the system. And now I'm curious, where does it... I wonder where we come out here, where it dumps us right into the Alpha Quadrant, maybe near Deep Space Nine, near the wormhole? Yep, there you go. So, yep, they got all of your veteran rewards and all those goodies. Now we're officially on the KDF faction. Oh, cool. So, yeah, there's the wormhole. I actually haven't been over here, but now the wormhole is visible in sector space. And you can go up to it and take the wormhole to the Gamma Quadrant. That's cool. Can you fly through it? You can fly right through it. Yeah, going over the Gamma Quadrant is, of course, another major piece of the expansion. But yeah, so that, I guess, we'll probably leave off the video here. And I guess I will do a separate video, because this one did run quite long. I will do a separate video for going over the Vanguard ships, those 4 ships that I claimed in the middle of the episode, and then also taking a look at that Gamma Recruit event rewards. I'm very curious, now that I'm finally a Gamma Recruit, I can take a look at all those and see what... you know, see if it's actually worth it. See if all these rewards are good or not, and what is, you know, where you should spend your time, what achievements you should be working on. But yeah, I guess just overall, I'll just close out by my final thoughts on the Jem'Hadar faction and the first mission here. And I have to say, while I liked the episode, like I said, the actual storyline was pretty great. I love how they integrated it with Skila and Charybdis, and you saw that battle from the Dominion standpoint. Like, you come through the wormhole, you help defend Bajor, and started a little bit of a plot line going here, a little bit of a mystery as to why we wanted to extract the Zinkethi Admiral. That was kind of the enemy that we had to defeat when we were on the Federation side. So he probably has some valuable information or something that's important towards the plot, so we'll have to see where that development goes. I'm guessing he will be returning in the remaining episodes in the story here. I still don't have access to all of the other episodes. I bet we probably have to... yeah, I bet we have to complete this entire story arc. Maybe that will unlock the remaining episodes. I guess they did. They split that all into 3 missions, although it kind of felt like one long continuous mission. They kind of divided it into 3 missions. Which is okay. I mean, that's fine. But Turn the Tide was the main mission, right? So, yeah, I mean, I liked the story and the plot line, but I have to say, I mean, I have to say that the end there, just how they did the faction selection was very, very rushed. Did not feel like it flowed at all. There was no explanation given as to why we're choosing a faction. Just a couple lines from Loris, and that was it. I was hoping for a lot more than that. At least another episode to, give some context to the choice. Maybe there's some, maybe Odo has some master plan to help integrate the Jem'Hadar in with the Federation and the KDF to, I don't know, improve relations, or maybe they have to work together better in order to defeat the Herc. Some little explanation like that would have gone a long way into making that decision seem, more impactful. As it was just a very, ham-fisted sort of plot device. It was just felt so forced. So that was definitely a downside, and it is cool that we did become a Gamma recruit. I do like that. So I do want to see where the plot is going. So I like with the plot. It's just the whole Dominion faction feels so rushed. I mean, we've only got one race, just the Jem'Hadar. It would have been so awesome to be a Vorta. I would have loved that so much more, being kind of in that more leadership role, and then, so yeah, just one race. It's hard to even call it. I don't even know why they call it the Dominion faction. They should just call it the Jem'Hadar faction. That's all it is. But yeah, just the one race is a huge disappointment. The lack of context for why you're picking. I mean, there could have easily have been 2 or 3 more episodes. Maybe one of them even with some more of a tutorial. That's another thing. There was no tutorial. I can't imagine how lost a new player is just jumping into a level 60 character like this with almost no tutorial at all. Hopefully the tips that I gave during this video will help you at least get started, to actually slot out your bridge officers, get some abilities on your tray, and to actually be able to play. But even what I explained was way too brief, and there's a lot more that goes into it. The kind of things that you learn as you're leveling up a character for the first time from level 1 to 60, those are the things you learn along the way. Whereas now with the Dominion faction, they just jump you right into level 60. So I have to say, without having a tutorial there, it would almost make sense that to require a player already have a level 60 on another character on their account that's level 60 in order to be a Jem'Hadar. That might make more sense. Either that, or they have to add a tutorial in. So yeah, it just feels like the whole introduction to the Jem'Hadar faction was very rushed, and that's really unfortunate. I'm not sure why they didn't spend more time in that. I know time is a precious resource for developers, but it just didn't flow very well. So yeah, I guess those are my opinions. I do hope that my tips and tricks helped you to get started, especially if you're a new player. If you're a veteran player watching this, I'm sure you already knew all the tips that I gave anyway. Yeah, I figured if the game is not going to give you a tutorial, at least in this video I can try to help out new players a little bit and get them off to at least a functional start, so they can do what they need to do. Yep, so I think that pretty much covers it, guys. So, yeah, like I said, the next video I'll be taking a look at some of the Vanguard rewards. I will, of course, be continuing my playthrough, going through the rest of the episodes. And I'm kind of debating. I'm not sure if I want to do it on this Jem'Hadar character or on one of my other characters. I'll have to think about that one. As going through the rest of the episodes, I mean. And there's lots of other content to look at. I haven't done the Space Queue yet. We haven't looked at the Gamma Quadrant Battle Zone. So lots of stuff still left to do. And looking forward to that part of the content for sure. I'm also at some point considering making a Cardassian character because a Cardassian race was unlocked as part of that the Vanguard pack. So that may also be an upcoming video. But again, all this will be in the future. I'll have to space this out a little bit and try to cover each thing, so just please be patient with me as I need to spend the time to go through all of these items. It will be spaced out over several days to probably a couple weeks to be able to cover everything, so just be aware of that. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Had a lot of fun, having a lot of fun with Victory is Life. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought. What do you think of the Jem'Hadar faction? What do you think of this first episode and how the whole faction selection worked? I'm curious to see what everyone's opinion is on that. I wonder if you think it looked as rushed as I feel it was. So, okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.